Namaste. Meher Joru, Abdikehe Superstars.
Okay, well, Joe, that was perfect. First and foremost, the lows of the World Cup, just going through that entire phase once again.
Yeah, I mean, just went from bad to worse, really, and we didn't start off as well as we would have liked. Obviously, playing Australia, it was a massive occasion for us. At the start of that game, we got into a pretty good position, and then their middle order, sort of, along with Aaron Finch, just took the game completely away from us. And we were, from after bowling, we were on the back foot from there, and we were always struggling to get back into the game. And it would start to this campaign for us, really. We played Australia, then New Zealand, the first two games, and obviously we played horrendously against New Zealand as well. So from that point on, trying to find some sort of momentum to take us forward through the rest of the competition was quite tough. So if we're just being brutally honest, we weren't good enough. We didn't play anywhere near as well as the rest of the sides throughout that competition, and we had to learn some harsh lessons and make sure that when we came round to playing one-day cricket again, that we were back on somewhere near our best and competing with everyone else.
Speaking about, we started this conversation speaking a little bit of Hindi because, in a sense, India maybe holds a special place in terms of debuts and quite memorable debuts.
Yeah,
so talk to me about that. Yeah, exactly. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was right at the back end of that tour. It was my first tour with England as well, so to be a part of that team was really special. And some of the guys in that team I'd been watching since I was 12, 13 years old. I think Kevin Peterson, Ian Bell played in that Ashes series in 05, and I was 11 years old watching them win the Earn Back for the first time in 14 years. And ever since that point then, I've had a real desire to go on and try and do the same sort of thing. So then to go to India, and I think it was the first time we'd won in India for over 25 years or something like that, which was a remarkable achievement from that side. And to make my debut within that series and to play a part of that was really pleasing, and it gave me a lot of confidence going forward from there.
Especially being able to tackle subcontinental conditions the way that you did, spinning tracks. Did you prepare for it? Did you adjust on tour? How exactly did you manage to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I had to adjust on tour. Obviously, coming from English county cricket, there's not massive amount of spin out there, so you had to work really hard in that lead up to that series. But not just that. When we've gone away with the England Lions, which is our A side, we spent a lot of time in India and in the subcontinent working on playing spin in both one-day and Test cricket, or four-day cricket, which has been really beneficial for me. Spending a couple of winters in similar conditions, and then obviously when we get out to India, working with the guys within the squad and getting used to the surfaces, and once you get out there, you're so accustomed to it with all the practice that you do, that you just got to make sure that you can relax and back your technique and talent to score your runs.
You make it sound so simple, but I know it isn't.
No, it's not. But that was a really special series for me as well. I mean, it's the first time I got to play against Sachin, which in Test cricket obviously was, as a kid, watched him as all the way up, and I think he played Test cricket before I was born. So it was really special to be on the field at the same time as him. You
also mentioned in that same series sharing a locker room with guys that you'd seen growing up. So when you walk into those sort of locker rooms and you see your idols or guys that you've seen growing up, what is that feeling like? Were you ever ragged? I mean, was there any sort of thing that went around?
I mean, first when I rocked up at the airport, met up with the team, I almost wanted to ask a few of them for their autograph, if I'm being brutally honest. But I was lucky they all were brilliant at integrating me into the team and making me feel at home. So it was pretty easy transition, but at the same time they didn't have to do that. But they were very good with helping me with not just my cricket, but making feel that I was part of the team too. How
do you enjoy playing the game in terms of, do you like the talk? Does that motivate you? Do you like giving a little bit of the talk, getting that sort of aggression into your game? Do you enjoy it? I think it's part of the game. You've got to learn to embrace it. So you don't mind it and don't mind giving it? I don't mind it, and I try not to get involved in it. There are times when sometimes you can't help it. But I think it's really entertaining as well for people to watch
you want to see that confrontation sometimes.
Does it ever rile you up? Have there been situations that's riled you up?
I think when I first started it did, and I've sort of found a way to calm myself down if I ever do get riled up. But yeah, I think the emotion of playing Test cricket and playing for your country, it can sometimes, that can get the better of you as well. And you're so desperate to do well and to win that you've got to accept sometimes that you're going to have to cop a bit of abuse. And again, when you're sat at home and you're watching that, it can be quite interesting, and that's what it's about. It's about entertaining the people watching and making sure that it's box office viewing. So, as well as the way you play the game, if you can add a little bit in there as well, and I think it's important to have those rivalries and that little bit of confrontation from time to time.
And speaking of rivalries in terms of numbers and rankings, you've got that #1 ranking. Current batsmen across the world, not just in particular formats, but across the formats, there would be yourself, there would be Steve Smith, Kane Williamson, Virat Kohli. This is the group of this Gen X that are taking it to another level. Do you keep tabs on these other batsmen? Do you watch them? Is there anything in their game that you enjoy watching in particular?
Yeah, I watch all of them. I love watching them play, being honest. And they're all so different, and I think that's the beauty of it, is you watch all the best players in the world and you try and learn from them, and you see what they're doing differently to everyone else, what puts them apart from you, and why they stand out, and you try and take little bits of it, of what they do, and try and add it to your game if you can, and make sure that then you're up somewhere near them and challenging to improve all the time as well.
Give me an example of the guys that I've named.
You watch someone like Kane play, and he plays exactly the same way throughout all 3 formats, but can score from striking at 60 to 140 without breaking a sweat. And same with Virat, the way he plays, he can face 50 balls without facing a dot ball almost. I remember in the 2020 World Cup a few years ago, I think he faced 2 dot balls, he got 70 odd not out in one of the games. So there's so many little things like that which you can pick up from your peers around you and guys that you play against.
Now we get to see a lighter side of Joe Root, which is something we saw during the Ashes, which was so much fun.
I've got Bob Willis alongside me. Hello, Bob. How was that feeling?
Well, it was very entertaining, wasn't it? I thought it was a brilliant performance by all the bowlers for a change, and I'm sure the crowd thoroughly enjoyed it.
Marks out of 10?
4.
Only 4?
Well, it wasn't a patch on my game, was it?
Take that off.
That
On the Ashes. Brilliant.
Amazing. That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was all good fun, wasn't it? So, yeah, that just some of the stuff that goes on in the dressing room, really. Quite embarrassing looking back at it. And normally had a few beers when something like that happens, but no, it's all good fun.
Okay, so since you did that so well, this one is going to be really fun. Yeah? So we've got a few gentlemen here that we'd like you to impersonate. You can just hold it in front of you and do the impersonation. But before we begin, is there anything you'd like to say? Just, to clear the air, maybe.
We had a good chat actually after the test match. Yeah, it was good to catch up with.
Okay, let's get an impression out of you. Family.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to think of. Yeah. Mate, any danger of hitting off the square? My Aussie accent needs a bit of work.
It needs a little bit of work, does it? Okay, this one's going to be fun, but you got to do a nice, lengthy dialogue.
Okay. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
God. See, I generally find that all the commentators always like to relate it back to when they played. So, back when I played, we had our Stewarts, your Vaughans, your Thorpes, and nowadays you've got your Cooks, your Andersons, your Broads.
You can do a better NASA one, but I'll excuse you with that.
I'm terrible with that.
This is going to be fun, though.
Oh, I can do Jeffrey.
Yeah, this would be great. And see, I've got the little cap for you as well.
Yeah, you have got the cap for me. I wondered what these
Yeah.
Now then, I'm Jeffrey Boycott, and I'm the best batter to ever walk this earth. My average was over 50. I scored 158 first-class hundreds. My running between the wickets wasn't the best, but by God, I could play.
You didn't mention his grandmother. He's always
that's true. And by the way, my grandmother could have hit that with a stick of rhubarb.
Oh, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This one's a little more, should we say, presentation.
Okay. Cookie.
This is going to be fun.
Cookies are quite easy to do. You just stumbles across his words all the time. We played really well today. It was brilliant. Thank you.
Do Alistair Cook talking on Joe Root. How would he do that? Joe Root has just played a brilliant innings. Okay, I'll ask a question, all right? Yeah, we'll do it like that. How do you enjoy it when Joe Root interrupts your press conferences?
Yeah, I wish he'd leave his talking on the field instead of always trying to take the mick out of me off the field.
There we go. That's a good one. Oh, that was really, really well done. You're young, but any advice you'd have to a lot of youngsters who are watching you right now who would be very keen to know what makes someone like Joe Root kick and be able to maintain that sort of consistency?
I think enjoy playing the sport. That's most important, whether it be in the dressing room or on the field. Make sure you thoroughly enjoy the game for what it is. Enjoy that team, and that team part of it. I think it's really, you can make some friends for life through the game, which is again really important. From a technical point of view, really just watch the ball, keep it as simple as possible, not overcomplicate it, and yeah, just play with a smile on your face. And honestly, when you're having fun, it makes it so much easier to be successful.
You've always got the smile on the face. You're like baby-faced assassin.
Yeah, exactly. One day I might look my age.
One day you might grow into your age,
maybe,
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Joe, thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Cheers,
and
thank
all
you
the
very
best
much
to you
for having
for the
me.
future.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.